Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode number 80. We're at the Giro, stage 12, and this is feeling one of our best shot yet at actually getting a stage victory and or a pretty healthy boost when it comes to our position in the GC. Samuel's only a -1 today, but it's not a bad -1. It's his time trial prologue flat rating. Downhill's a -1. Stamina and resistance are -2. So I mean, it's impacting him a little bit, but it's definitely not big. We've got Mullebron here for protection. Mullebron's an easier one to get off the front. He's not a great rider overall, but with his +3, he's got some healthy bonuses. +3 to all of his mountain ratings, +5 to his stamina. That's going to help him support Samuels for much longer. 9 riders in that breakaway, 5.5 minutes ahead of the peloton. And in the peloton, we're not looking too bad either. 132k to go. At the top of this climb, we're going to want to go ahead and get water. For now, we'll sit on. But Sammy Arab gets a +5 today, which, of course, with his fitness level, offsets to more like a +1, +2 type scenario. But that's the best he's been. If things do come back together, we'll definitely look at him for a chance at the stage, or see how Samuels is doing at that point to support Samuels. But as we go through the first classified climb of the day, even though we've been through quite a bit of undulation so far here, we're just 1 kilometer from the top. These guys are probably going to attack. Yes, they are. Samuels, let's accelerate here. Just about back in contact. Samuels, good downhill, but we're on the flat at the moment. And there you go, back in contact without having to put in any effort. Okay, Mullebron to get the water, and then back here we'll send Clote to get the water as we approach the top on this one. Full peloton still together, still cruising along. The top of the climb has led to a little bit of an increased gap, and that's one of the nice things about the categorized climbs. The downside, obviously, is guys going for the KOM points, attacking. At this point, with how things have shaped up in this race, I don't think we're in any sort of contention to bother with the King of the Mountains points. It just does not seem like something that's going to be helpful to us. So we're looking at those stages or getting Samuels higher up the order GC wise. So we don't want to go too deep with him and blow up, but more interested in the stage victories, as that GC is just a matter of points, and we have plenty of those. Plus, a high GC situation is only going to increase his popularity and make him that much harder to sign back later on. So not necessarily one of those things we're looking to make use of. But 90 effort for now. Mullebron going pretty deep. We were blinking red there. Speaking of blinking red, these guys put their foot down a little bit more. Getting a big acceleration. Unseen. Oh yeah, weak climber. Sprinter there. He gets dropped from the group. No surprise by that one. We have Chris Hamilton, who's okay. Andrade, okay. Liber, Lawrence de Plus, Sepulveda again, and one other rider, Umbi. Good, strong, medium mountain, but there's a lot of proper climbs today, which means of this group, Samuels has got to be the favorite if we're able to hang on to this thing, and it's a 5.5 minute advantage for now. Far back are we drifting? Banuna. Roll to an 82. 6k from the top. Haven't gone back too far. We're doing okay. These guys, meanwhile, are now 3k from the top. Mullebron looking really weak. Samuels isn't looking great, but these guys can't have that much more. Mullebron fading. Samuels is hanging on just fine, though. The attack. Samuels, that was supposed to be a response. I hit the sprint. He had the ability to sprint still. Okay, in contact. 7 riders left. The only rider dropped was Mullebron. Let him go a decent pace for now. He will regain contact with them. Easing off. We're going to descend here shortly. Not much of a downhill guy, though, so to make contact's not going to be easy. Let's go ahead and get water for Samuels himself. Go and get water for Mullebron himself. He needs to go protect Samuels, so we're going to tell him to sprint. Even though it's going to hurt him on the next climb. He needs to get in contact. Clote's been dropped from the other group, but everybody else is there. Bad downhill rating means getting further behind. There we go. Back in contact and protect your leader. And gel, because we're about to climb. Meanwhile, back here. A little late on trying to get water. Villiers a little weak for it. Johannes Dalek looks fine for it, so we'll send him back. Benuta does not need to be the protected guy. We'll protect a Shimway instead. Though a Shimway today is looking rather weak with that -3. Benuta is looking better at the moment, but there's a difference when you've been protected versus rider getting dropped rather early. In the peloton, we're looking at 125 riders, so big group still here, just at the base of the climb. LeBron has been dropped. Put him on... Actually, we're going to put him on recovery duty. He's got a 2.5 minute gap. He can come back and protect Benuta briefly. So taking it easy for now, coming back to the group. We'll check in on Samuels shortly, but he's nearly halfway up the climb. This down to a minute and a half. Easing off a little bit more so we can protect. There we go. Or recover, that is. LeBron, what was the... how did he just get to an 82? He's not on auto. I didn't roll anything. We had him at... Man, come on. This game loves to screw you over any chance it gets. We had support. He's so much better than these guys, but add 4, 77 mountain. Add 4, 79 mountain. Add 4, 77. That puts them right there with Samuels. Samuels has not taken a turn this whole time, and he gets dropped. He does have the -1. Stamina is what's hurting. Sepulveda's, though, add 4 to that. 71, 73, 77. That's why Umbi goes clear. But Samuels has caught back up to Sepulveda. Shimway is fading. Mulebron, I turned him to auto. Like, it's frustrating that it's not following the directions that I've given him multiple times. The Shimway getting dropped. Down to 67. Benuta, go ahead and protect Arab. And they go over the top, still intact. But Samuels, group of 3 chasing the 1, still has a chance. Oh, but neither one of those guys want to work, because on paper Samuels is supposed to be better. Gap's holding steady ahead. It's growing behind Benuta and Arab. And a group of 54. Man, it just sucks to be this week. Really sucks to be this week. Usually looking at stronger performances than this, but here we are. Now they want to contribute. That's good. We'll take it. Well, contributed for a moment anyway. Now ready to contribute again. Peloton back together with the other 3 riders. Gap ahead has grown a little bit. Minute 14 is all we have. I'm gonna sit up a little bit. Looks like we're not going to make it through this. Gel for Benuta, Arab, up the effort. And there is Samuels coming back in. Now he's the actual leader, so we are going to protect him. Oi, what happened to Benuta? He's not out of energy. We were still in the pellet. Folks, game's being really freaking weird today. Benuta, for no reason at all, just got dropped. Okay, we are a minute and a half behind here. Samuels, good descender. Arab, good descender. Continue to protect him for a moment. We'll lead him towards trying to catch up a little bit. 5K to go. Umbi takes the win, so the breakaway does hold on. but just the last rider. 2K, trying to recover some time here. For the sake of GC, Glog, Paulus, Johannesson, sprinting. Samuels will make that last little ditch effort here. He got dropped by the group, but he's going to be a little ways back. Ends up 6 minutes behind Umbi. Had no support over the top. You know, he was so close to getting over that high peak of the day. Nearly there. Just gets lost out. Umbi goes clear. And then during the descent, 3 guys come together, and instead of cooperating, which would have given them a chance to catch Umbi, 2 guys didn't want to work. So 1 guy conserves as much energy as he can, but does the work, so they don't close him down at all. And then we hit the climb, and the other 2, who were fresher at that point, were able to leave us behind, and we not only got caught, but we got dropped by the peloton quite quickly. 37th on the stage. No idea what happened with Benuna. Game was definitely being weird on this stage with little things. I'm telling a Shimway to do 40 effort, and all of a sudden it's got a Shimway at 90 effort. But he's not on auto. I didn't roll the wheel or anything. I didn't hit any buttons to change it. Like, nothing should have given him an extra 50 effort there. And then Benuna, who's doing just fine, is suddenly off the back. Not showing him on auto. He wasn't on auto. I don't know. Umbi was 3 minutes ahead of the pack, and so that starting group makes it a bit closer, but we still lose 2.5 minutes on the day. Palace still leads from Evenepoel and Moss. Johannesson, Rodriguez, Bardet moves up to 6th. Gall moves down to 8th. Umbi moves up to 13th. He was in a similar situation to us. Samuels drops 1 spot to 19th. He is 14 minutes down. It's going to take a big breakaway stage to get anywhere. I mean, we're talking 4 minutes to just 2 positions ahead of us, 6 minutes to just 3 positions ahead of us in the standings. And then, you know, it's quickly down to guys that are less than half the distance from us to the top of the standings. I was only going to bring you to the end of the stage, but it's been a challenging stage, even though it's been almost entirely flat. The breakaway had 7 riders from like kilometer 0, but the desire to join the group was high. And we, the 2 guys that I wanted to get in the break today because of race day condition, Arab and Mullabran, were nowhere near the level necessary to get to the top. And we're going to have to try to sit on and hope we can hang in there and that this group does make it. Anyway, the chase, the counterattacks were continuous. The 7 became 5 as 2 riders have fallen off completely exhausted, and the other 5 were definitely struggling and hanging on. And we caught the perfect moment, my first attack of the entire day, even though quite a few attacks had happened by that point. Villiers getting dropped. Okay, he's going to be okay. I picked the perfect break. I could tell the timing that the peloton was getting tired. The gap was just starting to eke out a little bit. A different team had taken over. It seemed like they were going to let the break go. So when 4 guys attacked, I got right on their heels and went with them. And then the 6 of us caught up and made it to the group. But as for whether it's going to succeed, right now it's still not looking great. The field has not sat up. It's still only 1.5 minutes. But this is still the biggest that the gap has been. It was 35, 40 seconds continually for a very long time. Now there's 16 riders. And, again, the gap actually looks like it's going out. Not quite what I had in mind for today. And we would definitely need to get some recovery in before we hit this climb. But this might be the group. This might actually work. One more of the riders, presumably from the original group, has given up and fallen off the back, but we are now more than 2 minutes ahead. If the peloton sets up and lets us be, and we get our recovery in, we'll be fine before we get to our Cat 2, and then one finishing climb that I'm hoping at that point we'll be fresh for. I was kind of hoping to get 3 riders into the break today, but it was quite clear with how things were going that getting 3 was going to be extremely difficult. And outside of Clote, nobody had the race day condition to even get up there and help anyway. Samuel's -4 today. Gap down to a minute and a half. Peloton has not given up chasing. But as we hit this climb, it goes back out to 2 minutes. Only 2 riders interested in the KOM, so that made chasing them back down was easy. How's that recovery piece going? Well, for one, we need water. LeBron. Is he the stronger rider today? 77 stamina. 75 flat, 76 mountain. But it's the mountain. That's the difference. And it's going to be a big climb at the end. So Mulebron might be a little stronger right now, but he is still the guy who's going to have to work for Arab, because when it comes time for the climbing, even though he's stronger now, help Arab get that last little bit. He's a little more tired. He's got such a weak recovery. Oh, that's Mulebron with a weak recovery. What about Arab? Just today it is. He's up to 57%, by the way. He's up 10% from where we started the race, but that's in, 14 stages. We'll set a 90 here and try to hold on. There's 3 guys that are already drifting towards the back. Less guys wanting to contribute right now. Checking in here, we're on a 78. Let's worry about holding position a bit. Go 83. Still 15 at the front. But only a minute 49 advantage today. Making it look like this is the day that the breakaway will not claim victory, most likely. 7K to go on the climb. 11.5K overall. Past the halfway point, just 6%. Breakaway pushing a little bit harder than the pack, but only slightly. Down to 7 riders. Down to 4 riders. Down to 3 riders. And it's McNulty putting the work in. And we're both able to hang with him. That's good. That is real good. But we're only a minute and a half ahead of the peloton. 50K to go. We need to get water one more time. And Clote's in the position to do it. Still had not taken care of the water. He's still just trying to get forward, and there's a split in the group. And he gives up on the water. Come on. We've had such bad luck in this race. Arab has a chance, but not much of a chance. He's looking pretty weak. Clote did finish his task. And then drops to the back of the group, which is not where he's supposed to be. Protect a Shimway, please. Well, LeBron's going to get dropped soon. For now. He's still in contact. And then suddenly McNulty's like, hey, you got to work. Not looking great here, folks. 88 in the peloton, high tempo. This is the kind of stuff that just beats up our team. So we don't have much for flat ratings. LeBron very quickly out the back. So was Clote and De Villiers. Sepulveda. A blue jersey. Oof, Arab's already out the back. Yikes. Benuna's about to go out the back. Samuels is already toast. Okay, check it back in. Just we'll watch what's going on at the front. Phillipson's ahead of us. Oh man. Another big group. Arnsman, Umbi, Patterson, Mahorich, Menkes. Menkes is going to retire at the end of the year, by the way. Sivikov, Rivera, Jorgensen, Thompson, Gloag, Hindley, Carapaz, Bardet, Rodriguez, Johannesson. Palace is second. Evenepoel is the leader. Venipol's going to claim victory today with his 85, 86, 85. Paulus with his 83 gets second. Johannesson's going to get third today. And we got our butts absolutely handed to us in this one. We're 10 minutes down. Not on breakaway riders. No breakaway victory this time. This is just 10 minutes down on the leaders. Now it's 11 minutes down. Well, we're out of GC contention with that one. I mean, that's a huge loss. It puts us 25 minutes down. Makes the breakaway that much easier, but the breakaway was already easy to get in. They weren't too worried about us. Can't do much without race day condition. Can't do much without some rest, and we should be getting into an off day here following this one, hopefully. Might be one more day away, but yikes. Yeah. Rough go of things in this Giro. You know, I'm not overly mad about it. I'm kind of pleased to see what happens when I don't have the setup right. Spend so much time always working to get that setup right. And we've seen races where we don't have it and we go out and we struggle, but they're not races of this proportion, of this prestige. And as much as I hate having messed this up, I mean, I'm totally to blame for this. I should have swapped out those riders, and I absolutely should have gotten the objectives. Now, we'd still only have one or two guys on fitness peaks at this point. I don't think we would have been outstanding for this race, and I don't think it would have made a huge difference, but it would have made a difference, and we would have been a lot more competitive. We'd be down a lot less with Samuels, for one thing, and we've only been close on one stage so far. Maybe you could say two, because that last stage, right, with we were right there. We were so close to a four-man group going towards the finish, but the one guy made it, and the three didn't, came up just short. And really just because those two wouldn't contribute. If those two would have contributed on the descent, we're back together with Now, Umbi's still the strongest, still the favorite, probably wins the stage. But instead of getting dropped by the peloton, Samuels would have been dropped by and in the gap in between, and would have been second or third on the stage. It would have been a podium. Still wouldn't have made a difference, but at least it would have been like, hey, we had a shot. And to an extent, hey, we had a shot. Like, just a little bit. Not quite. Not enough. And it's just because two guys didn't want to work. They didn't want to work. They didn't want to contribute. And so we got screwed. And then odd things happened on one of the stages, but the other one behaved perfectly normal. We're just not getting great draws. And we're not getting great draws because I didn't set it up right. But it just goes to show how big of an impact that is. And it's the only way to play the game on the hardest difficulty. Or, take the best team and go out and win because it's the best team. Because they're capable. You don't have to have amazing race day condition at that point. You just have to be damn good at the game to make it work. But with a team that's very much on the back foot, a Continental Pro team that has no business competing at the level we compete at, to constantly punch above our weight, well, it takes the right circumstances to be able to do that, and not setting up those right circumstances has made things a bit brutal. Gaps were huge, very huge. Johannes Dalek was 8:42 down. Ashimwe led. Samuel was right across the line at 11:37. 11:37. That drops us totally out of it in 24th. At 25 minutes down, Ashimwe is 35th. Or 28 to 35 minutes down, that is. Johannes Dalek's 46th, an hour and a half down. Yeah, absolutely nothing left to go for except stages. But there's still a third of this Giro left. I just don't like our odds. Like I said, we've been there once. We have had a chance once. We've been close-ish. Keep working. Our time will come. We'll have at least one more shot at it. I just don't like our chances. But if I can get three guys in a break and have some race day condition in one of those leaders like Samuels in the break with two riders supporting him, I would like our chances so much better at that point, especially in the final week. I mean, the gaps are getting really big. We're now looking at 7 contenders left, 5 contenders left. It's becoming a very small group. Palace is hanging on. Evenepoel's now just 1 second behind him. Got to be the favorite, but Palace, right? It's the big mountains where Evenepoel's beating him up. Has dipped into that gap. They're now 2 minutes ahead of the chasing pack, so it's starting to look like a 2-horse race or a 5, 6, 7 horse race. Either way, whatever the case may be, the group is thinning. The gap is getting bigger. The good news about that is it makes it that much easier to allow a breakaway to a 10, 12-minute advantage and let them have the stage and not worry about it. And then if we can have 3 guys there and support, that's our chance. But we've got to have the right thing, and we're just not getting those draws to set us up to be in that situation. But it ain't done. It's not done yet. On Zoncolan's behind us now. That was a big climb. It was a hard climb. It was a brutal climb. Big gaps. And we got absolutely hammered. It's okay. It's okay. We were close on that previous stage, and still like our chances of getting at least one more shot at a stage win here at this Giro. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.